So my name is Sasskavash, but the name that my mama gave me is Otabiso. From East London, but also grew up in KZN until I was like 3. You know what I'm saying? So I got that bit of a Zulu blood inside of me, but Eastern Cape is where I found home. Yeah, I would say I'm eccentric. I'm abstract. What I mean by that is basically I am out of the ordinary. Yeah, even besides music, just my personality, the way I am, the way I carry myself, my demeanor, I am very, very out of the ordinary. Yeah. I actually didn't know I was falling in love with music because my big brother would bring me to his house. He would have weed. Obviously, I was still a kid at the time. I couldn't smoke. So he's playing Eminem, right? Hip hop. And he'd be like, "Can you hear that?" Obviously, he's on. You know what I'm saying? He high, so he's hearing everything. But I didn't understand at the time. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, "What the fuck is this?" But I enjoyed the music. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed his company. I enjoyed the music. And as I grew up, I started writing poems. First of all, I'd get these ideas. I'd write a poem, and then I'd like say it, recite it to myself. It's not something I performed. I just recited it to myself. And then, yeah, as the years went by, man, I felt like I started developing a rhythm, you know what I'm saying, in the way I deliver my lines, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't really record anything until I got to Rhodes. And I met this guy named James. He's part of Ecoscape Studio. He said, "Hey, are you an artist?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm an artist." He's like, "Well, I would like to record with you sometime." And I was like, "Oh, shit, let's do it." And yeah, my first song that came out was Sasskavash. It was a bit, unorderly, but it was the first time I ever recorded anything. So yeah, that's how I started falling in love with music. Ooh, man, that is a very difficult question because it was a myriad of things. I had various influences. Like I said, my older brother, he introduced me into the realm of music, hip hop mostly. And then, that age where everyone was falling in love with X and everyone was sad and depressed and everyone was doing lean. Yeah. So at 16, I fell in love with X, his music. I fell in love with his personality. And I just loved the way he expressed himself. And it actually brought us together as like that age group. You know what I'm saying? If you want to make friends with someone, you say, "Hey, do you listen to X?" And they're like, "Yeah, I listen to X." You're friends automatically. So X was one of my influences. Michael Jackson, funnily enough, is also one of my influences. That was more of the performative aspect, like the way I present myself on stage. And I'm saying I'm very out there. I like to dance sometimes as well. So Michael Jackson influenced me. Who else can I say? Eminem. Eminem. The way I break down syllables, sometimes I like to do that, play with words. So Eminem, X, Michael, and a few others as well that I can't name right now. Also Travis Scott. Yeah, I just love the way he lays out his music. It makes it sound ambient. It takes you to another dimension with these music. So I fell in love with that as well, and I want to do that. I want to learn how to achieve that. Yeah, difficult. Because at first I said that I recorded with James. Didn't really know what I was doing with it. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, okay. I know how to spit bars on a beat. Not freestyling. I have to write. I'm a writer. Let me just disclaim that. I like to write. And I didn't know what I was doing with it. And I was just doing the mainstream stuff. You know what I'm saying? Talking about money, girls, partying. And then as I got more mature in my music, as I got more mature as a person, I started contemplating like, yo, what am I actually doing this for? You know what I'm saying? Because people can feel when you don't actually live what you're performing, because it shows. Somehow it shows. I don't know. It's like an energetic thing. It's a spiritual thing. So I felt that. I was like, I'm disconnecting with my audience. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm lying to these people. You know what I'm saying? And they're giving me their attention, so I shouldn't lie to them. So I self-contemplated what I did music for. There was actually a period of time where I stopped doing music. I didn't write. I didn't, you know what I'm saying, do anything music related because I just wanted to see whether it's real. You know what I'm saying? If I stop doing it, will I still get inspired? And yeah, people like Nathan the rapper, NTR, Chris, those niggas inspired me to get back into the game. Like, yo, man, we live this. This is us. This is you. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what you've been doing before. It's what you do now. You know what I'm saying? Decide to be better. And that's when I decided, nah, these guys actually believe in me. So I believe in myself. And so that kind of, my music journey took a change because now I started writing a bit more conscious. Not dropping bars and anything like that, but I actually wrote about situations I've been through or things that I want to acquire And yeah, I feel like that makes my performances better because I mean what I'm saying and I can look you in your eye while I'm performing and tell you. Yeah. Marketing, most difficult one. Consistency, because when you put yourself out there as an artist and you basically give people the impression that you're a rapper, you have to maintain that image if you want a fan base. If you're just doing it for fun and it's just a hobby to you, it doesn't really matter what you do with it. But if you want to build a fan base, you want to be out there, you want to sell something, you want to make money off it, you got to be consistent. You got to know how to market. You got to connect with the right people. You know what I'm saying? You actually got to put yourself out there so your image becomes more apparent, becomes stronger. You know what I'm saying? When people see you, they might forget your name, but they're like, I know he raps. I've seen him somewhere on Instagram. He did a reel. You know what I'm saying? And also, it's gonna take a huge part of your life. You know what I'm saying? Doing all of that stuff. So you have to learn how to balance as well, because sometimes you won't feel like a rapper, but people will approach you like a rapper, and you kind of have to be that rapper. You know? Yeah. Oh yes, I have multiple times actually. I felt like giving up when I mentioned before that I didn't know what I was doing it for. You know, I lost the purpose of it. I lost the intention behind me making music. I didn't know why I was doing it. I just knew I was good at doing it. And I didn't know what my style was. I didn't know where I actually belonged, because for a long time I was just emulating things that I saw and heard. And I didn't know what my style was. I didn't know what I gravitated towards too. So that kind of made me lose energy, made me lose momentum. I wanted to stop. I was like, nah, I don't think I should do that. I don't think it's for me. Maybe I should just stick to acting, because I'm also an actor as well, aspiring actor. And what kept me going was basically watching documentaries about how these big artists like Juice World came from nothing to building something for themselves out of music. And it wasn't even about the material gains for me that inspired me. It was just about their journey and how they kept themselves going. Because sometimes you won't feel like going on, but you just have to. There's this thing in the back of your mind that says, I know we don't feel like it, but we have to. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's what exists inside of me as well. It's an energy that just wants to come out, and it doesn't matter whether I feel like it or not. I just have to do it. You know what I'm saying? Even if I'm just performing for two people, it's still, as long as there's attention there. Sometimes I do it for myself. I write a song, I record it, and it's just for me. I'm not going to put it out. It's just for me. So music for me is not just a skill that I acquire. It's not just a talent. It's transmutation of energy. Yeah. Whew. I think I'll have to think about that one, because I thought I knew what I wanted to do with my music, because I saw these big stars and how they took their mothers out of poverty, which was my biggest motivation, to one day take my mother out of poverty with like my talent. And I was like, oh yeah, that's what I'm gonna do with music. I'm gonna become famous. I'm gonna make money, and then I'm gonna take my mom out of poverty, buy her a house, whatever. And then I discovered that, oh, it's actually not that easy. You know what I'm saying? Just like I mentioned in the challenges, putting yourself out there, being consistent, marketing,